I dunno. I guess it kind of looks like a bat. Real dumb to fly though, only a single secondary bank? And that was the best a joint Terran and Vasedan company could do. And why does everyone else fly like a complete pro with it, but I always get shot out of the sky in 5 seconds? Obviously they are hacking. I demand all Ulysses players be banned for life. Someone obviously thought a cargo container would be a great inspiration for a fighter. History class told us that this fighter won the Great War. Won in what? The boxiest fighter ever award? I demand to know who designed this. Han, was it you? Or was it Ronald? I'm just glad this fighter was way before my time. So we go from a cargo container-inspired ship to a turkey-inspired one? Flying one must sure puts people to sleep since it takes forever to get anywhere with one because it's so slow. I've seen mega freighters with faster speeds. It handles like a turkey too. Takes forever to turn and I'm sure it flies as well as a turkey in atmosphere. At least it has nice secondary selection, not that you can turn fast enough to keep a lock. And I quote from the original description, this greater punch and protection come at a cost, however, as the Ares handles like a potato. Your stupid fighter is just a repainted potato, Epsilon 1. Potato 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 potatop. Potato 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 potato. You suck. When I wanted a new fighter they said I should look at the GTF Irenaeus. Why? Because it looks like a laundry pin, you sexist jerks. No. Thank you. Not a great ship, but pretty cheap, which is why all my 3 closest friends have them. Being a schoolgirl isn't a high-paying job. I used to have one too, but the Ezekiel is so much better. I don't understand. How are bright glowing blue stripes stealthy? Did I fall asleep in that day of class or something? Yeah, no. Don't answer that. This is Alpha 1's favorite fighter, or so the promo material says. I would never fly it in Reve rounds of him. I also hear there's a rare top-hatted variant, must be super rare and super valuable. This would be a cool fighter if it wasn't the size of Epsilon 1's non-existent mom. For some reason they like giving newbies this fighter, I guess they want to see them die faster or something. But it can carry Helios bombs, so I guess it has a super subspace bomb bay or something. Good job guys, spent 50 million creds on making IT so Terrans can fly this fighter and IT still has blue engine glows. EO. Bombers. Well, Delta 1 flies one and he's still alive, so maybe they're not all that bad. But would it be too much to ask for better weapon selection? Cooler paint scheme equals better survival in battle. It's just a law of the universe. Why do people still fly this? It's old. Upgrade to something like a Durga or something. You cavemen will be the end of us when the Shivans attack. I've only ever seen Ursatan fly one, and that's because of her, larger than normal size. It's best not to upset her with that fact, so everyone just ignores it. She's fat, that's what I'm trying to say. Delta 1 says she has large bombays though, whatever that means. Edit. Upon further research Delta 1 has been smacked for that comment. No wonder the NTF failed. This thing has the same missile capacity as the Herc Mk2. How is this a bomber then? Bosch must have been really insane if he made them fly these things. What a weird bomber. No turrets, next to no primary firing points. Instead they make me wait 10 years to fire bombs. I think not. AAAA++++++ would blow up again. CN blowing up was not as satisfactory as the original. These used to be great for resupplying, but then all of a sudden hostile ships started to drop giant chocolate bars and boxes of candy. They're now pretty much obsolete, but some people still like the slow agonizing weight of the resupply ship. Big freighter. Almost as big than a cruiser. Daddy won't let me fly them though. I'll have to ask Iota 6 when Dad's off on some secret meeting. Epsilon 1 told me that a TC Tri can carry 8,090,200,000 tacos. That's the first piece of helpful knowledge he's given me ever. I borrow these when I need to transport highly valuable cargo, such as my doll or game collections. Also get good escort. Bandits can smell a valuable Lorna Sims 112 scale model from 12 parsecs away. Dumb box. Dumb box. Armored dumb box. Very armored dumb box. Large armored dumb box. A veritable class of Terran design, by which I mean it looks weird and like nothing else in the fleet, except the Leviathan. Not that strong, but pretty cheap. I might buy a few when I get rich from marrying Alpha 1, and let the servants use it. Hey guys, genius idea. This ship that we need to transport civilians on, let's make it so it has lots of long thin segments, that'll keep them safe. Not. Congrats Leviathan, you're the slowest ship in the fleet. The lift at HQ moves faster than you. Science. How does it do science? The spinny part obviously. Come in, I don't pay attention in class and even I knew that. Come in, try to keep up. When a fighter pilot sees a ship of the GTG Zephyrus class, one thought flashes through his or her mind. Thank God I don't have to fly that tub. Really now? If you'll excuse me, I have to forge Epsilon 1's transfer papers. Again, thanks to the magic of spinning we get a ship that does magic. What sort of magic? A wax magic. And a wax stands for, amazing wizardy all-seeing system. Yet. The pride of the Terran Navy, a giant brick. I don't really see why. How can you be inspired by a box? It needs more ZAZZ. It needs like, giant glowing wings or swords, yet, giant swords and pretty ribbons. Really? That's the best the GTVA fleet could come up with as an Orion successor? I can only guess a bunch of 5-year-old designed this thing. Are those ears? I can only guess that the Hades was still pretty incomplete. I mean giant exposed engines like that? A giant tower up top? Obviously meant to be filled in by more superstructure, but that's still a pretty dumb design. This only reinforces my guess that 5-year-olds are in charge of designing capital ships. Home, sweet home. There are many Arcadias around the GTVA, but the one around the Fred Gnosis is my home. It's also where 90% of the FKJ SDF works, sleeps, and eats. So there's lots of restaurants, shops, and fun things to do here, despite being a military installation. And even when you run out of things to do in this billion square meter installation, you can hop on over to the other smaller installations for a fun time. The ultimate weapon against Shivans. Originally they thought a huge beam-armed ship would be pretty rad to fight other huge Shivan ships. But then they happened across a weird tactic. Ramming works pretty well too. Why waste money on expensive beam systems and crew when you can just make a giant shell filled with explosive and bolt on a subspace drive to ram the Shivans? These things are very weird. But they are a good and very reliable ship. Against Shivans anyway. They don't fare well against beta testers. It's probably better if they just stick to cleaning up the dirty space highways of pirates and ne'er-do-wells. From the words of Admiral Mix-a-Lot, little in the middle, but got much flack. To expand further. Oh my Fred, Becky. Look at that ship's engines. It is so big. I like big cruisers and cannot lie. You other pilots can't deny that when this cruiser warps in, with its itty-bitty waist, and a dual AAAF in your face, you get wrecked. Want to dive. Cause you notice that cruiser was buffed. Deep in enemy territory she's hunting. I'm marked and I can't stop dodging. Oh baby, I want to defect with chop. And take out a fuses. My commander tried to warn me. But with those turrets you got makes me so. For some reason daddy made me turn off the song at that point. I guess I'll never know how it ends. My theory, when little Aiken was 5 years old, he entered a shipbuilding contest with his crayon pen blueprints of the NTFIZ. When he lost out to Timmy Triton's DMist and Maggie Mikosoubek, he got all mad and started his own little Neo-Terran front where he could build all the ships he wanted to, and no one would tell him no. It makes perfect sense. Also little Aiken was so self-conscious of the Izini that he hid the ship in a giant rock. Only he could appreciate the beauty of the design. Oh look, it's a Terran transport. And it's a box. Big surprise. F on originality. Military VIPs occasionally commandeer Argos to travel from star system to star system in some semblance of comfort. Do they realize these Argos are as big as cruisers? Why not just take a cruiser? Unless you use the Argos cargo base to set up giant ballrooms. I need to make a few hollow calls. They go beep and sometimes boop. They also tend to carry notes left to people. It's every girl's dream to have a NAV buoy with a love confession dropped in front of their home planet. Close the iris. Oh wait, wrong ring-shaped installation. Carry on. Close the iris. Ooh. I will get to say that one day. So supposedly the ancients built these things to get around the galaxy, but Fred also uses them for anything. From going to system, to other dimensions, to the past or even the future. The only known Fred created Gnosis around here are the ones to Fred realm. Daddy says it's totally off limits, and to the hard light metadimensional exchange. Daddy says I can go there when I'm older. For being such a small and weak sentry gun, they sure are annoying, being armed with subishes, slightly more armored, and yet still just as annoying as the watchdog. Guys, these things suck. Get bigger sentry guns. With beams. Ugh, I hate the jerks that try to destroy these. And I also hate the jerks that make me protect these. How about on the next escape pod, we add a turret? Just one? Please? A glowing blue box. Goes boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. Haiku by Holly. Your basic fish lover fighter. Small, quick, and sleek, it's a pretty neat ship. Durability could be better though. Also needs cool eyes painted somewhere on it. The fastest Vasedan fighter in the fleet, but it can't beat me, especially when I've had 30 Mr. Beam bars. Delta 1 flew one for his debut fight, and he never touched it again after that. If he won't touch it, it's probably not that great outside its speed. Apparently more sturdy, and it's Vasedan. Kinda boring. I think this is what the Vasedan Epsilon ones fly. Apparently the frame is made of cardboard, which would be cool, if it were a model and not a military spec fighter. What? Why do they get cool fighters that look like animals? Where is my pony fighter? I want answers. I've seen this ship before. Who are they trying to kid? The Shivans are attacking for copyright and trademark claims. I'd say given, but my many filled hollow discs may need to be expunged. Note, thank Daddy for the word a day app. Ooh, purple. Turrets. Carries bombs. Looks spacious too. A shame it's slow and turns like a brick. I'll wait for the next generation. These things always take a few years to get right. I have been told that the name is similar to the ancient Japanese word of cute little sweetie. Then again, that info comes from Delta 1. I'll have to do some research into this. Hey, at least there's no bright glowing lines on this so-called stealth ship. Good job. Vasidans. Another cool looking Vasidan ship, however it's now completely obsolete from the mysterious candy dropping from enemies. Oh well, maybe I can use one as a shuttle sometime. Painted purple with giant flames on the side. Yes, this thing's health is insane for such a tiny transport. So tiny, yet so strong. I really wish the Vasidans would share their secrets with us. It would make protecting our tiny transports so much easier. Why is this still PVFR? The PVN is long gone, and this is the tiniest frigate I've ever seen. Unless it's supposed to mean freighter, in which case it's still dumb. Okay, not dumb. Just weird. I would not want one anyway. Ugh, what the heck is this? So many nice pretty ships, and we get dealt with this ugly thing for a cargo hauler. If you ask me, which is why you're reading this, it looks like a Terran designed what a Vasidan ship should look like. Ugly. Kill IT with plasma. Dumb Vasidan box. Dumb armored Vasidan box. What a Terran-like Vasidan transport. Kind of foxy, sharp edges, but still not bad looking. Nice armament too for its size. I don't get why we don't have nice transports like this. Either it's a tiny fragile Elysium or the wide-loaded Argo. Sheesh. Man, Vasidans make such pretty ships. I'd totally want to defend her, yes, her, from any evil Shivans trying to hurt it. It's okay. Everything will be fine when Big Sis Holly takes care of them. Your basic fish cruiser. Not as fishy looking as future cruisers, but it's still a good fighter. Those two AAA beam cannons will just tear you to shreds if you are not careful. Makes me glad we Terrans are friends of those Vasidans. The Mentis 16 turrets include heavy beam cannons for duking it out with other warships, as well as AAA and flak turrets to fend off smaller craft flyer. This thing is the Epsilon 1 of Vasidan capital ships. Boring, weak, and always a disappointment. Don't bother protecting this class, save your ammo for protecting something more worthy. Like a cargo container. This is a pretty ship. So graceful, and elegant. Excellent color choices, especially the accented pastels. The Archimedean spirals give a good homage to nature and the fins give a good predatory vibe. I'll take 12. See, this is a nice Vasidan ship, even for one that's close to the Orion's age. Smooth, purple, cute stubby little arms. It can also kick a fair amount of butt by itself. If I was a Vasidan, I'd totally want to live on one. But since I'm not, I'll stay away. Vasidans kind of smell. Don't tell them I said that. Dumb Vasidan sentry gun. Why can't anyone get these right? Teehee, it looks like a giant helmet. Did you see what that guy in the rear window is doing? Wow. Rude. I'm not saving his butt. Literally. Steak. Just medium rare thanks, not too much sauce on the top. Extra potatoes and hold the rest of the communist green leafy kind. Oh, and there is dessert, correct? I'll look at that menu now, thanks. Oh, I got distracted. Spinny. Such wow. Much a wax. The famous Vasidan vacuum cleaner of doom. Cleans up Shivans, Neo-Terrans, and any other form of trouble scattered across your system. You will be amazed at the quality of work it does. Buy one today. Okay, where's my 50 creds, guys? Hacks. Impossible to hit. No clip physics. Bot ban please. Might as well call this the SF bullseye. Large, slow, and an easy kill. Sure, it may have tough shields and a ton of missiles, that's why you hit it from long range. Zone. Weak, but actually a bit of a challenge to hit. Nothing really special though. Pretty common for the Shivans to use, so get used to it. A large, slow-moving Shivan ship. I would fly circles around it all day. but it's much better to just put it out of its misery. Shivan Bug Fighter, they go squish really well. Small, quick, but blows up if you sneeze in its general direction. Which is saying something since we're talking about the vacuum of space. Obviously a ship from the earlier days of Shivan design. Horribly blocky. Horribly. I got nothing for this. Tough shields and hull. It also seems to drop items more than fighters do. Weird Shivan bomber, but the Vasudans seem to like it enough to copy it. These things are kind of cool. Giant arms, some sort of visor, tons of weapons, lots of little turrets. If I were a Shivan ship, that's the one I'd be. Oh, and it seems to drop more items than the normal Shivan fighters. Tiny Shivan transport that's always ripe for destroying. Hard outside, soft and fragile inside. The SFR Dis class of freighters is smaller than the Asmodeus class and not as well armed. What? Do they know something I don't? Giant dumb Shivan cargo. The SFR Mephisto class is equivalent to the Dis class in size and combat capabilities. Is there some sort of giant Mephisto or tiny Dis that the GTBA isn't telling us about? More dumb Shivan cargo. Weird Shivan freighter. Why is it green? That's not a Shivan color scheme at all. Is this some sort of palette swap? Where's the original? Dumbest Shivan cargo. Overpowered Shivan cruiser. Who designed this thing? Twice as much armor as a Moloch? A destroyer-grade beam cannon? How are we supposed to fight a war when the Shivans play dirty like this? I bet they only cost like 1 mineral, 1 gas, and have a negative population cap. A neat-looking Shivan cruiser, like a cool creepy bug that I snuck into Harriet's lunchbox one time. Man, those were some good times. Anyway, this ship does have that same problem of having an anti-fighter beam that can fire from any angle, even through itself. How lame. But those 3 beam cannons on the front are pretty rad. Too bad it's always a hostile ship. A common Shivan cruiser. It shows up everywhere. It isn't very strong though. It has an annoying anti-fighter beam that always seems to be able to hit me from any direction though. No sir, not a fan of that. I'm not going to dignify this lame excuse for a destroyer with any funny comments. Please send all hate mail to Epsilon1C/01 FKJSDF place Fred Gnosis Zone. Big, threatening, and looks like a dragon. The best Shivan destroyer ever. I don't care what you haters say, it's a cajillion times better than Mr. Beetle Destroyer. Please send all hate mail to Epsilon1C/01 FKJSDF place Fred Gnosis Zone. The most feared Shivan ship before the Sathanas showed up. I can see why. If a giant lobster was attacking me, I'd probably be a little terrified. Not a lot. Just a tiny bit. Some say that the Lucifer attacked because of our sins. Well, if eating lobster is a sin, then call me the Dark Queen of the Underworld. Lobster. I'm hungry now. Lame Shivan sentry gun. Slightly less lame Shivan sentry gun. At first glance, it looks like another weird bug, a firefly. At second glance, it's got a spinny thing and blows up real good. I bet this is why they cancelled the second season of Firefly, the Rahu made the Firefly too taboo. Kind of a weird space fish, I guess. Carries fighters. Not as many beams as our corvettes though. Could be better, that's all I'm saying. Call me. I've got some great drawings of mean sharks if you need ideas, Shivans. The final boss of Free Space 2. Too bad no one told the GTBA there were 80 plus final bosses. Still, it only has 5 anti-capital ship beams, 4 of which are sticking at the end of some very vulnerable arms. But that's still too much work since the GTBA realized that the weakness of the Sathanas was a vulnerability to equally large ships jumping out at point-blank range on a collision path, which is why we now have 50,000 Colossus. While these things are definitely awesome, I mean, what's not to like about a super powerful beam cannon that you can drop just about anywhere? I can't help but think they could have been designed a bit better. Like, not impossible to aim correctly or actually delivering on those original specs of 2 beam cannons and 3 missile launchers. Why the GTBA doesn't take the manufacturer to court, I have no idea. You spin me round, baby, right round, like a record, baby. Good song. This is my fighter. It's the best fighter in the fleet. It has my favorite color, purple, and my favorite speed, fastest. A lot of the inside specs are totes classified, but I know that it really powers up when I'm either in danger or really mad. Or both. A perfectly generic station that's probably appeared in 90% of any campaign within the last 3 years. Boy, the royalties the creator must be making now. These things pop up everywhere and are so easy to build. Completely modular too, why we have a few around home. They have apartments and gyms and education death camps, and stores. Overpriced stores anyway. Built by Fred to give the beta testers some place to live, while he devised new ways to torture them. Ugh, I can't imagine being stuck in such a confined place for so long. Ooh, hey, my 12-hour download is done already. The 3rd beta tester's vessel. See the club room for more information about her. This Seraphim bomber has been modified to fit a lot of beams on it compared to the original. This can also glide and pull off some wacky maneuver. Destroying the beta core will destroy the beta tester. Beta core location, on the, its, thing. Sensor subsystem, that's it. The 4th beta tester's vessel. See the club room for more information about her. This modified cane boasts a lot of beams too. That's because the 4th liked the 3rd's beams so much he asked for them on his ship too. The hull can regenerate to a point depending on how many cores are active. Beta core location, the ends of its beamy arms, 5 in total. The Subakinus HL7 is a Zazer weapon, firing an intense, highly focused beam of X-ray emissions. Until the Shivans appeared with their shield technology, these weapons were considered an unnecessary and costly extravagance. But Great War Dogfight, the Miku HL7, the Vasudan made up prototype issue, reckless type, the GTM prototype issue, reckless type. Upgrades. LVL2, Nova Lance, ROF Plus, ACC. LVL3, Unlimited Laser Works, ROF++, ACC. The GTBA had a problem. Too many disabled cruiser wrecks. It was a waste of a beam, and normal lasers took too long to kill them. So therefore the GTBA R&D scientists came up with the Starlance gun, for all of their disabled cruiser wreck destroying needs. Using special Donium crystals contributes to the, as quoted, Stella Performancio allows the pilot to use the gun while doing anything from asking questions to sipping on their milkshakes. Pilots who aren't careful may cause a tempest of debris to rain down on themselves, possibly causing scars on their fighter. The Starlance gun may have other purposes, but until they are regulated as such, they should be kept out of the hands of lunatics without a sense of justice. 13/10. Standard issue, untargeted heat-seeking type. Upgrades. LVL2, Hanabi Teikai, Swarm ++++++++. Okay, now this isn't your typical heat seeker. No locks needed, good seeking strength and this is important. Comes in 6 different colors. Also TL note, Hanabi means firework. I can confirm this is a fitting name. Some might say this could be a little overpowered, to them I say NERF dis. Pretend I'm doing a rude gesture here, except not really, daddy. 14/10. Explosions pretty AF. As freckin' awesome. Special issue, Long-range interception type. Upgrades. LVL-2, Initial V Second Stage, Child Warheads Plus. Deja vu, I've seen this missile before. This technically is a trebuchet, but someone else licensed the design. Not a bad clone though. It just goes full blast speed right away, but it can't turn as fast. Not so great in close range, but awesome for sniping bombers and subsystems. Breaks the night no problem. 12/10. Only nerds check out the intelligence section. All the cool kids go to the club room for deep lore and world building. Nerd.